Jai Shri Mataji, respected brothers and sisters from the global Sahaj family. Salam sejahtera dari Malaysia. Warm greetings from Malaysia. Before we proceed, let us welcome some yogis who are joining us for the very first time. We hope and pray that you will continue to join us every week to strengthen our collectivity. Let us now introspect for a moment. Let us surrender all our ego, conditionings, impure desires and impure thoughts at the holy lotus feet of Shri Mataji. Let's enjoy the silence for a short while. Now, with our hands folded in the center of our hearts and with complete reverence, let us bow to our dear Mother, our Holy Mother, and pray. Param Puja Shri Mataji, we, your children, from across the world, humbly seek your permission, blessings, guidance, and protection to have this global online meditation. Shri Mataji, it is only by your divine grace and blessings that we are able to gather every week to worship your holy lotus feet collectively. We will always remain indebted to you, Shri Mataji, for all your blessings, especially for giving us our self-realization and helping us sustain thus far. We pray, Shri Mataji, that you will continue to bless all of us, grow deeper in our spirituality, and be the divine instrument that you want us to be. Shri Mataji, may Vishwa Nirmala Dharma and Sahaja Yoga spread to every nook and corner of this world. Shri Mataji, verily you are the doer and the enjoyer. Hence, Shri Mataji, we pray for peace, love, absolute joy, tranquility, and spirituality to prevail in this universe for eternity. Our humble salutations to your holy lotus feet, Shri Mataji, again and again, from all your children. Today, brothers and sisters, we are indeed very blessed and privileged to have a dear brother, a very devoted and dynamic yogi by the name of Brother Wolfgang Heckel from Vienna, Austria. A well-loved brother by all of us and a great devotee of Shri Mataji. Brother Wolfgang received his self-realization in 1983. And for 4 decades now, he has played a very vital role in propagating Sahaja Yoga across the world. And for this, Shri Mataji has made him a world leader, a World Foundation Council member, and many other titles that he has held over the years. But above all, he's a great yogi, a very humble one too, with lots of experience to share with all his brothers and sisters. And together with him, his family also practices Sahaja Yoga. And we pray that he will rise higher and higher in his spirituality to ensure Sahaja Yoga grows to every nook and corner with the blessings of Shri Mataji. Let's put our hands together to welcome our dear brother, whom we have been waiting for a long time. It is today that Shri Mataji has made him a divine instrument in our channel. And with great privilege and great pride, we invite you, Brother Wolfgang Ji, to lead our session and later on share all your experiences, if not some, for today. Over to you, Brother. Jai Shri Mataji.
Shri Mataji. I mean, hearing those words, I'm quite, it's an uneasy feeling because I'm not such a great yogi and just happened to be in yoga for quite a while, and Shri Mataji allowed me to be here. So it's for all of us, we are all exactly at the same level. We are like toddlers struggling to get at the lotus feet of Shri Mataji, to stay there, to grow deeper into our experiences and to purify ourselves. This is where we all are in, each one of us exactly at the same level. And I'm not saying this just to please. I'm saying this is my deepest conviction. We are in the middle of a journey, and by the blessings of Mother, we are going on. By the blessings of Mother, we are growing. By the blessing of Mother, we are going through different tests. By the blessing of Mother, we feel the vibrations. By the blessing of Mother, we get into meditation. And knowing this, having this in the heart, let us just bow down and raise our Kundalini. I don't know how you do it. I will bow down in front of Shri Mataji's picture and come back into the camera soon. And then let's raise our Kundalini. And when we do our bandhan, we should not forget to go from each chakra to the other one, from Muladhara to Swadhisthana, to the Navi, with full attention, to the heart, to the Vishuddhi, to the Agya, to the Sahasrara. It is an immense honor that you invite me for meditation. And I bow down to all of you. And mostly, of course, we all bow down to Shri Mataji. There's one speech where she explains us how to bow down. And what she says is, and she also corrected us personally, that we should put our forehead flat on the ground while we bow down. And she also said that we can ask Mother Earth while we do that, please take away my sins, please take away my others, my negativity, because I'm a realized soul. And then she says, Mother Earth will be very pleased to suck out everything out of our system. So let's, first of all, before we start our meditation, get into the mood. And to get into the mood, I want to share a few pictures from the Sahasrara day, which just happened now, recently. Because the Nabi is very important. So this is in the chambers of Shri Mataji. And before we go into meditation, or maybe to go into meditation, it can help us to watch this place where she has moved, where she has spent so many years. Every chair she has touched, every centimeter of the ground, she has been walking on that. She has been touching those tables. She had been choosing all this beauty in this room. So let's just enjoy the beauty that Shri Mataji has created in this room, this beauty for us to enjoy, because our yoga is effortless. Let's never do effort. Get into effort when we do the meditation. It's effortless. It's a blessing. So these were all the items being offered on the 5th of May on the Sahasrara day to invite Shri Mataji. On this table where she had been sitting so many times. And these are the crowns of her puja. Some of them, there are many more. The crown, the Sahasrara, of all the pujas being shown in the meditation room in Kabela, in the castle. We can just watch the crowns and let our attention rise to the Sahasrara. Each and every crown is the expression of the yogis, that Shri Mataji might rule our Sahasrara, that she might open our Sahasrara. And before we go into meditation, just let us do that. Shri Mataji, please allow me. Allow me to take the seat in the Sahasrara. You are the queen of Sahasrara. Please allow me in your kingdom. And now we enter into Shri Mataji's living room, the holy place where she used to reside, where she used to meet people. She never spent so much time in any other place of the world than in Kabela, in this place here. It's all full of her vibration. She had been choosing all the wallpapers, everything which is there. And the door which is open in the back is the door to her sleeping room, to her chambers, which is full of vibrations. With our hand widely spread out, let us absorb the vibrations, the love of the mother, the aesthetics of the spirit. Let us just absorb it. You don't need to do anything. It's effortless. This is where our effort ends. You're coming from your work, and now you don't have to do anything. You just ask the mother to do the job, to help you to go there in the Sahasrara. You don't do anything now. Just don't do anything. It's all happening. Effortless. Effortless. And with your hands wide open, maybe our Sahasrara will open up. Relax. Drop your shoulders. Breathe out. No more struggle. It's over. She's sitting there in front of us. And on this picture, she's pleased. It's the Guru Lakshmi picture, and all the prasad had just been offered to her. So may our Nabi become calm May our Navi become content. Nothing to be done. Just peace, shanti, shanti, shanti. All the yogis bowing down for her. Bhavan place, her car. And this was the puja. Sahasrara puja in the 100 years. Shri Mataji's 100 years. And flowers had been showering from up while the Aarti was sung. So let's breathe out deeply. Breathe out. Enjoy that she allows you to be in the Sahasrara. All of us. Thank you, Mother. Thank you. And just see there is a light smile on your face. Just check. There's reason to smile. She is there. She has come. She is blessing us. She is within us. And with this pleasant picture, full of worship of her devotees from all over the world, representing all of you, all the flowers that had been showered from above. These are all the flowers in your name. You had been showering them on her, on the goddess. If you want to close your eyes, close your eyes. If you want to watch her, you watch her. If you want to keep her behind your closed eyes, and close. Oh, Nirmala Devi, please let me enjoy deeper and deeper the oneness with the Spirit. Oh, Sri Ganesha, you are our eldest brother. Please take us by the hand and lead us to the lotus feet of the Mother. Allow us to be close to her in meditation. Without you, we cannot do anything. Please give us the auspiciousness by your presence. Please, Shri Ganesha, allow us to please the Mother. Show us, please, how to do this. Om Tvamev Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah. Shri Ganesha, you are in every cell, in every atom. You give structure to the microcosm. You give structure to the macrocosm. You are the rule. You are the power on which the universe is based. Keep it in order. Shri Ganesha, we love you. Please give us blessings. We can put the right hand down to Mother Earth. Just like a little child does. Shri Ganesha, please help us that our left side becomes clear. Let's say again Shri Ganesha mantra. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah. We surrender all our past. We surrender all our habits. We surrender all our emotions. Absolutely at thy lotus feet. Shri Ganesha, Shri Mahaganesha, Shri Mahavira Mahabhairava. We surrender our left side completely to you. Shri Mahaganesha Mahavira Mahabhairava. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahaganesha Mahavira Mahabhairava Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo. Now we can put the right hand on the lap and the left hand up. Let us take the mantra of Sri Kartikeya, who is the commander of the divine forces. Om Tameva Sakshat Shri Kartikeya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nimla Devi Namo Namah. We pray that all the heat of the right side, all our planning, all the belief that we do something might be absorbed completely by the power of Sri Hanuman. Please take away our ego. Please take away our heat. Let's take the mantra of Sri Hanuman. Om Tameva Sakshat Shri Hanuman Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nimla Devi Namo Namah. And now let's put the right hand across our forehead, putting down the left hand again on the knees. And this is the center of Lord Jesus Christ, we all know. So let's put our attention here. And push down the right side a couple of times. Unless you know that there's a left side problem, a huge one. Push down the right side otherwise. From Agya. Slowly, slowly. Very slowly. And if you do this, you might feel like a cool breeze coming from your hand. When you push it down, you might feel the cool breeze cooling you down. Shri Jesus Mary. Om Tameva Sakshat Shri Jesus Mary Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nimla Devi Namo Namah. And let us take the mantra of Shri Nirvichara. Om Tameva Sakshat Shri Nirvichara Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nimla Devi Namo Namah. If still there is no silence, push down your right side until you feel relaxed. By pushing down your right side, after a while, we might be blessed with feeling relaxed and calm. Sri Gautama Buddha. Om Tameva Sakshat. Sri Gautama Buddha Sakshat. Sri Adi Shakti Mataji. Sri Nimla Devi Namo. Now let's sit there with both hands open and absolutely quiet. Our attention is very peacefully in the Sahasrara. We don't have to do anything. By sitting there quietly, we feel our axis very strong, calming us down. O Mother Kundalini, thank you again and again. Om Tvameva Sakshat. Sri Gauri Kundalini Mata Sakshat. Sri Adi Shakti Mataji. Sri Nimla Devi Namo. Ami Sakshat Sri Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Maga Triganatmika Kundalini Saksha Shri Adi Shakti Mata Shri Dehi Namo Saksha Shri Kalpi Saksha Shri Adi Shakti Mata Shri Nirma Devi Namo Namah Om Tame Saksha Shri Kalpi Sakshat Shri Sahasrara Swamini Moksha Pradai Mata Devi Namo Now with this, in this state, in silence, blissful, let us watch a speech of Shri Mataji, which was done in 1985 in Vienna, in Luxembourg, which is the castle of Mary Theresia, who was a part incarnation of Sri Mahalakshmi. Of Sri Raja Lakshmi, actually. And in this hall, Shri Mataji, in this castle, Shri Mataji gave this very famous speech about Nirvikalpa, but also this famous speech, which was the real Puja speech that we are going to listen to now. Enjoy every second.
Today, in this beautiful place created by the Queen of Austria, we have gathered here to perform the puja to the Sahasrara. When we enter into the realm of Sahasrara, then only we have right to do the Sahasrara puja. Before this, nobody talked about Sahasrara, nobody did any puja to Sahasrara. This is your privilege that you are in the realm of Sahasrara and that you can do this puja. Perform it. It's your right. You are chosen for this. It's a very privileged place for you to enter into the Sahasrara of the Virat, to reside in the brain as self of that Sahasrara. let us see what is the quality of the cells of Sahasrara. These are specially created cells through the working of the Swadhisthana. Passing through all the chakras, when they arrive at Sahasrara, they are equipped to handle the brain's activity without getting involved into other elements in the body. In the same way, the Sahaja Yogis are not to be involved with the other cells, human beings, of the body of this universe. The first thing that happens to a Sahaja Yogi at the Sahasrara level, that he becomes beyond Atit. So many things he transcends. Kalatit, he goes beyond time. Time is his slave. If you have to go somewhere, then suddenly you discover that everything is working about the same time when you are able to do it. Like you are, say, to catch a train, and you arrive late at the station, you find the train is late for you. Things work out in such a way that you feel they are all acting for your complete convenience. So you go beyond time, Kala. Then you go beyond dharma. Dharma means dharma becomes part and parcel of your being. Nobody has to tell you, you do this or you do that. You just don't do it. Whatever you have to do it, you do it. When you go beyond all these dharmas that are the human dharma is that his attention gets attracted either with lust, greed, at something, and then he cannot pull out his attention. But now the attention becomes dharma atit, means the attention loses its dharma. The dharma of the attention are such that we have to put the dharmas taught by the prophets to control them. Because we are coming from the lowest level. So these dharmas exist in our being and start showing. And when they attack us, then we have to have some measures to control it. So we build up our dharmas, our rules and regulations, and control them the dharmas which have come to us from lower condition. This is the greatness of human beings, that they have made their own dharmas established on top of the lower dharmas. Like carbon has, say, 4 valencies. It has to be in 4 valencies. It acts according to the 4 valencies. It cannot make it 6. But human beings can make those valencies established which are supposed to be representing the human dharma, the Manav dharma. But with the Sahasrara ascent, the attention loses that quality. Means you don't have need, there's no need to put dharmas, restrictions upon yourself. You don't have to discipline, but you get disciplined automatically. That is the first sign of a person who is belonging to Nirmal religion. That is pure. Attention doesn't get attached or attacked by anything whatsoever. It is so pure. Like the lotus leaf, the water doesn't stay on it. So you become kalatit, you become dharmatit, you become gunatit. Means the 3 moods in which you are born, left, right and center. You go beyond. The left one is the one by which you have emotional attachments of your attention. The second one is the physical and the mental attachments. And the third one, the attachment to the dharma. Attachment to be righteous and making others righteous, of disciplining others and disciplining yourself, which is the sattvika, where a person tries to control all his enemies of lust, anger, pride, vanity, attachments, and greed. All these restrictions on the attention get lost and you become a free person of complete wisdom. Your attention itself becomes dharmic. So you lose all your gunas and you become sadgunis, means virtuous, but not by discipline, but spontaneously. You become righteous spontaneously. Sometimes such people puzzle you. Like Christ took a hunter in his hand and beat people who were selling things in the presence of God, in the sense in front of the temples. According to laws, we should not have temple. But this temple is a temple of a gunati. And such a temple is a spontaneous happening, which is not to be analyzed, has to happen. The temper of the Devi on the Rakshasas, the killing of the Rakshasas, Krishna's samharas. Krishna telling Arjuna that you have to kill all these people. They are all dead already. They all get explained because you go beyond. So it's the Atit, beyond, conditions arise. Only the one who can control is beyond. The one who is in it cannot control. If you have to pull out the ship, you have to be on the shore. The one who has gone beyond can only do that. So you go beyond, that is Atit. But when it comes to the knowledge, about such a person, you cannot think, because such a person is beyond thinking. You cannot describe, because such a person cannot describe. You cannot say why Socrates agreed to take the poison. Why Christ agreed to get crucified. That's beyond human comprehension. That's how you behave beyond human comprehension. And you are not to take certificates from human beings. Your certificates come from God Almighty and not from these human beings who are at a lower level. It would be like a dog writing about human beings. So you reach a state where it can be described with the word means without. Without. So such a person is without thought. He doesn't think. Such a person is without greed. Such a person is without lust, devoid of. Such a person is said to be ashish, out of which nothing is left out. Like when you want to make a vacuum, you go on creating the vacuum, reach any point, but the vacuum cannot be complete because it reaches a point all the time where you find some part of it has to be remained. You cannot have a complete vacuum. But such a person has a complete vacuum. Vacuum of all the negative, aggressive qualities. Doesn't exist. Complete. Such a person is eternal being. Nobody can kill. Nobody can harm. Nobody can hurt. The anger of anyone or respect of anyone does not touch such a person. He is not disturbed by insults or non-insults. He is not elated by praises. Because he is devoid of the capacity to enjoy the wounds of the ego. So the third state where he reaches, he gets the blessing of the word Ni. Ni. Ni is the first word of my name. But in Sanskrit, when you combine it with Mala, then it becomes Nirmala. But the word is Nihi. Ni, which shakes little. Ni. That means sheer. Or when a R is added to it. But the first Ni means without, devoid, and Nira means sheer. Like when you say Nirananda, Nira, sheer Atma, sheer joy, Kevala, the only, there's nothing but joy. But this word is used, Nira or Ni, used in two forms as I told you. One for saying without or devoid of. The another form is the only, absolute. The absolute. So here the joy becomes nirana, absolute joy. Nothing but joy. It's complete freedom. So you have all kinds of joys. As I told you before, you have Swananda, the joy of the spirit. Then you have got Brahmananda, the joy of well-being. You have got Leelananda or Krishnananda, where you have the joy of the play. But when you reach the state of Sahasrara, it is Nirananda, means sheer, absolute joy. Though the name Nira is my name, it means absolute. So when you put such an adjective before anything else, it becomes absolute. Thus you become absolute. And when you are at that state of absolute, then there is no place for anything else to be there but yourself. But let us see what is absolute. That means it is not relative. It has no relative quality. Absolute cannot be compared. Atulaniya, it cannot be compared. It cannot be related to anything. It is absolute. It It cannot be comprehended because it cannot be related to anything else through which we can comprehend. It is absolute. Whatever way you try to know it, you go away from absolute. Whenever you try to analyze the absolute, you are away from it. So this is what at Sahasrara you get, Nirana. In different stages of Sahaja Yoga, we had to start from Sharira Ananda, means the Ananda of the body. Manasa Ananda, the joy of the Manasa, the sight. Then you can say Ahankara Ananda, where you have to have the satisfaction of the ego. But the state has now to be established within us is of Nirana. Then what is the question of fear? What is the question of talking about it? You cannot talk. Because how will you relate it? I cannot say it is like this, it is like that. There are no words for absolute to describe. Only by negation, not this, not this, not this, what remains is absolute. So you reach the state of absolute. And that is the state, a complete communication is established. And in that communication, you have nobody else but the absolute within you. That is the Sahasrara Puja you are here for. That is the level to which we should aspire. That should be the ascent which should be established within ourselves. We don't have to go to Himalayas. We don't have to do anything drastic. Remaining in this world, we have to become the absolute, the only, Kevalam. There's nothing like how for it. You just become. You just become like a flower becomes a fruit. It's all built in, within it. Allow it to work out. Just by surrendering, you become. Surrender. And you'll be surprised. You will be at the stage where you will enjoy your absoluteness. It is absolute love. It is absolute compassion. It is absolute power. The words stop. The description stops. You just become the absolute and feel your absoluteness through it with that oneness. If somebody is not with you, you don't worry. There's no company needed. You're alone, enjoying the Absolute. There only you can enjoy the Absolute in others also, in the best form, without seeing anything else but the Absolute. May God bless you.
Now I'm sure that we are going to see the Aarti as a video, and we can perform the Aarti along with it at home.
सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जग में संकट कारण कितने लिए अवतार माँ, कितने लिए अवतार। विश्व में तेरी महिमा, विश्व में तेरी महिमा। तू गंगा यमुना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जो भी शरण में आया सुख ही मिला उसको माँ, सुख ही मिला उसको। बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ, बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ। लौट के ना जाना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। मानव में अवतर के कर दिया उजियारा माँ, कर दिया उजियारा। कलियुग में माया है, कलियुग में माया है। फिर भी पहचाना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। संत जनों की धरती है भारत माता माँ, है भारत माता। इस धरती पर आकर, इस धरती पर आकर दुख से दूर करना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जब दिल में आए तब मधु संगीत सुन लो माँ, मधु संगीत सुन लो। हो यस की जो सेवा, हो यस की जो सेवा। हमसे करा देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुण्डलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्षप्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। बोलो श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी
maybe at the end of this meditation, after Shri Mataji's wonderful speech, where she uplifted us to the highest, to the absolute. May, from that level of meditation, may our prayer be one with the desire of God. That there will be absolute calm peacefulness within our hearts, within our character, and that this peacefulness will meet every corner, every heart of every human being in this world, will transform all the wars and warlords, either for them to be removed or to become peaceful, peaceful, peaceful. We wish for this world peace in the heart, peace in the mind, peace in the family, peace inside, peace between brothers and sisters, and peace between all human beings, because we are all one spirit. We are the spirit. We are all the same. May this desire, this prayer, reach the lotus feet of Sri Mahakali, who is the pure desire. Shri Mataji. And at the end of this meditation, let us all raise our Kundalini and put ourselves on the bandhan with all the dignity, knowing what we are doing, knowing that the Divine has put the light into our hands, the light to raise our own Kundalini, and the light to raise the Kundalini of others. And the light to raise the Kundalini of masses. And with those hands that Shri Mataji had enlightened, to give vibrations. Let's put the vibrations all around our body 7 times for the Muladhara, our inner sense, for the Swadhisthana, for the enlightened creativity, knowing that she does it all, for the Nabi Chakra, for the generosity, for the peace within us, within the families, in the whole world, for the heart, for the absolute oneness with the absolute, without fear, in full dignity, for the Vishuddhi, for the collective consciousness, for the sweetness between brothers and sisters, and for the tricks to know what to do, and for the Agya, to be absolutely in Nirvichar Samadhi, all the time, beyond conditionings, and for the Sahasrara, to be completely integrated within and without. Jai Shri Mataji. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, brother, for the very blissful meditation. That's by Shri Mataji. Everyone is waiting to listen to your experiences. Shri Mataji, there are many, will inspire our brothers and sisters. Some of them are quite new. Some are many years with us. So maybe you can share some of your experience, and later I would also like to ask you one or two questions about, some experience that I've heard from Shri Mataji. So first, you can share first, and then I will see whether you mention about it. Then we'll talk about it, brother. Thank you for all the lovely photographs. It's very, very, serene and very peaceful, calm, so blissful. Without being there, we are there. So it's so beautiful. Thank you for all your effort.
Thank you, dear sister. So I'm not a storytelling box. Let's see what comes along. But I mean, there are many experiences that Mother allowed us to have with her in person, which of course is extraordinary, because when we have these experiences, it puts us into a state of doubtless awareness, which is the Nirvikalpa state, as we all know. And it would be nice if this lasts all the time. But whenever we get a bit worried or nervous about something, we notice, it's still not there, still not maintained completely. So we are all on a journey. But on this journey, she gives us nice experiences. And they have different impacts, like talking about Kabela, about the weekend of the Sahasrara Puja. We had a beautiful coordinators meeting, and this coordinators meeting, they were initiated by Shri Mataji. At that time, it was called leaders meeting, and she would call all the representatives of countries and projects at her lotus feet, and then everybody would tell about their own countries and what is happening and what are the problems, and she would solve it. And at the end, one would just leave being completely blissed out, leaving this place where I have showed the picture of Shri Mataji's living room, where it all happened. And this time, as we were hosting countries, I had the honor to moderate the meeting. And right in the beginning, I just had the feeling to remind everybody to the reality behind. And the reality behind is that Shri Mataji is just sitting there. So I told the story. I said, look, Shri Mataji would come out from that door, and the door to her sleeping room was closed. She would come out and then sit down here. And all of a sudden, I see that the faces of everybody is lighting up. And then I saw, on the side of my eyes, I saw that at that moment when I talked about it, the door of her sleeping room opened, as if she would come out, but there was nobody inside. There was nobody opening it, just opened by itself halfway, just when I was talking about it. This was a miracle, but what happened, and all the windows were closed, so there was no draft that could have opened it. But at that time, the vibrations became so strong. It was so overwhelming that none of us could say even a word. We just sat there overwhelmed by the flow of vibrations. It was so strong. It was so strong. And she was just in the middle of the room, being there with us. And this is so kind of her to give us this reassurance that whenever we really call her from the bottom of our heart, the 2-hour meetings, she's there. She's there when you meet in the ashram. She's there when you meet in your center. And she's there with us in this meeting. And she's there with you at home. So we should never forget that this is reality. We have completely arrived at reality.
It's what
yes.
Yeah, that's what Shri Mataji said in a promise, right? So every step you call me, I'm there. So,
yes.
So yes. It's absolutely, that whenever we think about her, she's always listening to us every second.
Yeah. And as you speak about this experience, it was in 1984, it was my first puja in France, in Rouen. And this is where she said it. So she said, don't be surprised if you see me walking on the street in front of you and all that, because a new era has started. And I was really new in Sahaj at that time. And then it was, this whole puja was in a church. And, you know, church has sometimes very funny vibrations. And when Shri Mataji walked out after this puja in Rouen, me as a young Sahaja Yogi, I just saw, oh my God, she is really carrying this heavy weight of vibrations on her. And I wish I could do something. I knew I couldn't, but I just, anything to do, Shri Mataji, I would love to do to help you somehow. I mean, of course, she helps us, but there was this childlike thought. And then I walked out of the cathedral of this church, and all of a sudden there was Gregor, which was the yogi who brought Sahaja Yoga to our country and to many other countries too. And he waved me and said, come here. And he was opening a door, and inside was Shri Mataji lying on the bed, and yogis were around her to massage her body, massage her feet and all that. And then when she saw me coming in, she immediately pointed to her right knee, which is the right navi. And as I was a windsurfer being in the sun the whole time and in the sea, I kind of knew why. So I was allowed to massage her right knee. And after my first Sahasrara day, after my first puja. And then I felt like myself filling up with vibrations. And I don't know, it took about 1 hour, 1.5 hours just massaging Shri Mataji's right knee. And all the other yogis, some were massaging her foot, some her hand, and everybody was beaming. And then after a while, she said that we could leave now. And I went up to the room, although I didn't sleep anything during the whole weekend. You know, I was working very hard to be able to come to that weekend, and we had to leave at 4 or 5 in the morning. So I was lying in my bed and just giggling. I couldn't sleep. I was just giggling the whole time. It was so filled with vibrations. It was all so beautiful, and that lasted really long. That lasted really, really long. So, and then I came back home, and at that time I was like not working for the military, but I did some job instead. Means taking care of children who are like between 15 and 18, and I had given them realization before. And then there was one boy after I had come back, and all of a sudden he comes to me and said, okay, now I know it's true. I know it's all true. I said, what? Why? He said, I was standing behind you and I was just checking your Kundalini, and it was so cool, ice cool. It's all true. Okay, make me a yogi. So the effects were still there, not only for myself, but also for others. And this is what she does to us after puja. And we always hope that we can maintain it somehow, and we try our best to do that, to treasure whatever she has worked out for us. Yeah, that was my first meeting Shri Mataji closer. I mean, the first time I got it, when I got my realization, which was so beautiful, because I just, somebody told me there is an Indian lady speaking in the theatre, and she's here for the last day. And I said, okay, let's go. And I didn't know what I should expect, nothing. And I never had any touch with yoga or anything. It's just I went there, and then went down the staircase, and there was a wardrobe, quite a big wardrobe, because it was kind of a theatre. And I saw an Indian lady standing there. And this Indian lady just looked at me. She just looked at me and for a split of a second. And that was it. It was Shri Mataji. I just felt like homecoming. It was like all of a sudden falling into a softness all around, like cotton balls all around me. It was absolutely soft, homecoming feeling. And I thought, whatever they are going to tell me, I'm going to do that. That's it. I'm going to do that. And then, yes, after some people who introduced her, she came, it was her. And that was the beginning of my journey. That was the beginning.
That was in Vienna, is it? Was it in
It
Vienna?
was in Vienna in 83, yes, in 83, in September, 6th of September. So that was the most important day of my life,
Yes.
many lives. And then I went to the Canarian Islands. I had a nice job there because I was in windsurfing and diving and all kind of things. And, you know, nobody told me I shouldn't drink alcohol or anything. And I wasn't really somebody who drank a lot, but I did drink because all of us do here in Austria. And then I went to one of these bars in the evening, and I asked for one of these beautiful drinks, you know, with a colorful and pineapple on it and umbrellas and stuff, and alcohol, of course. And I got it into my hand. I looked at it, and I just felt I cannot drink that. I cannot drink. And since then, I never even drank a drop of alcohol. And nobody told me. It was just so obvious. You just notice you can't do that. It was so obvious. And this is such a miracle of Sahaj that, as Shri Mataji said, this Dharma, you become Dharmadit. The Dharma itself is just unfolding. It's not that you go like what is written in the book or so. It's just, it's obvious. It's there. And this is such a strength of Sahaj. And at the same time, although it's so obvious, and although we all feel vibrations and we all do that, still we have the situation that in many countries we have split collectives. And this is somehow amazing. And I hope that it will heal in every country. Like also in Austria, we had our things. Every country must have been going through things so far. And there was one experience I had, which was quite interesting, with Shri Mataji. It was in Greece. And at that time, I mean, these were beautiful times. We had all the musicians still coming along with us. And then so Shri Mataji gave a program, and the Indian musicians, Sandesh Bobatkar would be there, and then Guruji, and I mean, it was fantastic, you know. Jaya was there, and they all played for us. And then Shri Mataji went on, and they went along with the tour. So we happened to be in Greece and Athens. And there was a beautiful place on an island, which belonged to Stamatis Ponduris. And when his grandfather, he was ex-president of Greece. So he had a beautiful place. And Shri Mataji granted a Sri Mahalakshmi Puja there. And I was supposed, and the musicians were supposed to go back to Austria for the follow-up program. Not to the puja, going back to Austria for the follow-up. And Shri Mataji sent me to get the visas for the musicians, which should have been an easy job at that time. It should have been completely easy. And I went out, and in the evening, I came back, absolutely destroyed. Nothing had worked out. I had no visa. I was caught up to here. Every door had closed right in front of me. Every taxi drove away before I could get in. It was a nightmare day. And I came back, and I said, somebody asked me, Shri Mataji asked how it worked, and I sent word and said, it's nothing. So then Shri Mataji called for me, and I was a bit worried, of course. And then she called also for the musicians. And so the musicians were sitting there, and I was sitting there. And then Shri Mataji blasted the musicians on Marathi. Left, right. And I said, what is happening? And she said, then she turned to me and she said, you know what they did? I said, no, Shri Mataji. I said, they gave pandan that you should not be successful to get their visa. Now, wow, this was amazing. Because what she told me, what she told us is, even if you are not in flow with the divine desire, still your pandan work. Still your pandan can harm people. Your pandan can stop things to happen. So what I learned from there is we have to be extremely careful that we are, whatever we do, that we are absolutely in the flow of the divine. Always listening to this sweet voice of Mother inside. Am I doing the right thing? Am I in line what you want? Or am I giving bandhan for something which I want to happen? It was a very important experience I had, really. And then I don't tell this story very often, but I think it was, for me, it was really important. It was really important. Sorry, I'm talking the whole time.
It's all right, brother. It's surprising these things do happen, like what you said, it's about split collectives and all that, despite knowing who Shri Mataji is, we are all supposed to be one big family. But sadly, like what you mentioned, we hope that this particular problem will be solved throughout the world.
Everywhere, yeah.
So
it happened to all the religions, unfortunately. All the religions somehow got into it when the incarnation was not there. Then different opinions. But I have full faith that when we really use the vibrations, and using the vibrations not in a way like
negative way,
checking papers or so, but just like when we talk, using the vibrations to feel what is her desire. And if we feel the vibrations, then we just can have one opinion, I guess, that it somehow will work out. But still, we are on a journey, so we are learning. I think that's what is happening.
Every day is a learning day for all of us.
Oh, so much.
Yeah.
And we never know when we are finished, but it will take a while, I guess.
Hopefully, it will be rectified soon by the blessings of Shri Mataji.
Yeah. Do you have people on the marriage list?
Marriage list?
Yes. Do you have something like a marriage list? Are you sending people for marriages to the marriage committee? Because if so, then I would have a nice story.
Yeah. Many people apply. So you can, many people from different countries do apply for marriages. If you like to share, that'll be good.
I can share my marriage story.
Yeah, sure.
Which was, when I came into Sahaj, I had a girlfriend at that time. Her name is Sabine. And we'd been together for a while. But we were traveling a lot. So she was in Australia. I was on the Maldives. I was in Africa. She was there. So we didn't really meet. And then at some point I got realization. I gave her the realization. And then we were boyfriend, girlfriend, as it happens in the European countries, in the Western countries. And then at some point, again, Gregor, he told us, look, guys, either you marry or you stop that. And then we were not ready to marry. So we said, okay, stop. So she gave me a Rakhi and then it was done. And then she got married at some point. I was not ready to marry to some person in a country far away. That did not work out, and Shri Mataji divorced that marriage. And then at some point I was ready to marry. I went to India and she did not. And I also had given up and forgotten because there was a Rakhi, everything. And then Shri Mataji, there was the announcements of the marriages, and she showed me some paper. Look, this is your fiancée, and do you like her? I couldn't see anything. It was all dark. This old Indian Xerox, you couldn't see anything. I said, yeah, Shri Mataji. Didn't even see the face. And then the day of the marriages came closer. And then I got a bit nervous because I never saw this lady.
He must have got matched to the person.
Yeah. So and then it happened. There was a Guru Puja. And this was the day before the weddings. I still hadn't seen her. And I knew she was somewhere around there, but I knew something must be wrong. And then I saw her father, who at that time was one of the oldest yogis in Sahaja Yoga, apparently. And then he came to me and he talked to me. And the first thing he was asking about my bank account. And I was a bit surprised because maybe too romantic or whatsoever. And that was not my forte, my bank account, So I didn't score very highly at that point, probably. And then also he told me she needs servants and all that. So that was completely not my league. And then I got a bit angry. I said, come on, what is this? I mean, we are all Sahaja Yogis. And this, all of a sudden, Shri Mataji called me on stage. And then she said, this Indian girl, she's a bit too small for you. But what is with this Sabine from Austria? And, everybody on stage collapsed because she never heard the name. She never got the name from anybody. And also she was not here. She was in Austria and the marriages are supposed to happen tomorrow. So everybody cracked and wow, how does she know? But then Gregor went and Shri Mataji, she's not here. And then Shri Mataji said, bring her here. She's not here. And now bring her here. And what they found out, that about 15 minutes before she had arrived in Ganapatipule, because she got free from her job, and nobody knew that, only Shri Mataji. And she just went out of the car, and all of a sudden a crowd came to her, dragged her on stage. She was so shocked. She didn't know what was happening. And then Shri Mataji was asking her, do you want to marry this man? So this is how our story started, yeah. So if you're on the marriage list, just be sure that she's managing it. She's really taking care. She knows you in and out. She knows each one of us. She knows us in and out.
Definitely. Brother, Sri Mataji has mentioned a couple of you, brothers like Rajesh Shaji, Gregoire-ji, and you also, and a couple of others, the musicians and all. But there's one story that I always remember, that Shri Mataji was very emotional. And I think you also were emotional. I think it happened in airport. Was it Prague or something? That, I would love to hear that, because every time Shri Mataji speaks about it, it's so much of emotion that she speaks with, that you had, for her, the love for you, and even the elements changed, the clouds.
Yeah.
So can you share that story with some of our brothers and sisters? Every time I hear that story, it just fills my heart with lots of love.
Yes. Now, I recently shared it during the vertical growth meeting, but yes, I'm happy to share it again. Shri Mataji was in Prague, and Mr. Wolfgang, that's me, was supposed to take care of the luggage and everything will be checked in the morning. So when Shri Mataji comes, that everything would go nice. And she was booked for a program in Warsaw, in Poland, on the next day. So I knew in the evening this is really, really important. And she was supposed to fly via Vienna because this was the only way she could reach Warsaw from Praha. And so, and I checked her ticket a couple of times. At that time, you had just the physical ticket in your hands. And I checked the ticket at the time, not to do any mistake, because I knew this is crucial. Yeah. And yeah, whatever it was, in the morning, I had some time in my head and I checked it, not only twice, I checked it twice. And then I just found out the time was wrong. She should have been gone through the airport since long. She was still sleeping. I was too late. It was a nightmare. My left Vishuddhi exploded. I was a walking left Vishuddhi catch. And then I informed Aga, who was with Shri Mataji at that time, and said, please wake her up. And I ran to the airport. I check in the luggage and just make sure that Shri Mataji somehow will arrive. I mean, not in time because it was already too late, but could leave with that plane. So we rushed to the airport. I checked in the luggage. And as Shri Mataji was a VIP, so it still checked in the luggage. And then they were calling her name and she hadn't even arrived. And I got so nervous and shaken. And then finally, after the third call, Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, your luggage will be unloaded and all that. And then she arrived. And then all the yogis were there with flowers. And very patiently in front of the airport, she started collecting the flowers one by one. There were a few hundred yogis, and inside they were already running mad, calling for Shri Mataji, for the passenger. And that was a bit stressful to Mr. Wolfgang. And I couldn't really enjoy the giving of the flowers. And then the sky was blue, it was beautiful weather. And then we went inside, and this lady at the customs, she started shouting at Shri Mataji, you VIP, you think you can do what you like. And I felt so bad. She got shouted at because of me. And then we went inside, and Shri Mataji was not caring about herself. She was just worried that I'm so worried. And she was just worried about me. And you know, this love, this unconditional love she has for her children, and she showed to me at this moment, was so overwhelming that I was just tearing up. There was just no way to stand this love without an emotional outbreak. And I was really like crying like a child there in front of this divine love, which was given to me at that point. And then we went inside the plane, and then Shri Mataji was sitting in front of me. It was a small plane. And then she turned around, you know, with a very cheerful, humorous face, and says, you know, this plane is not going to leave. And I said, yeah. I was finished, yeah. And then again, no, it's not going to leave, I tell you. And I said, Shri Mataji. And then she just finished saying that. All of a sudden, the captain does an announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain speaking. We are having a technical problem. Unfortunately, we will have to unload the passengers. You will have to blah, blah, blah. And then she cracked up. She laughed. See, I told you, they're not going to leave. And now you shout at that lady. And that was a nice job to do. So we had to go back. We had to walk out again. And then I quite enjoyed to shout at that lady. And then we came back to the wedding crowd, but it was raining. It was before it was beautiful weather. And then Shri Mataji had said that my tears had become the clouds and had brought the rain. So whatever it means. But this was a beautiful story of her love, of her compassion, of her love for her children. And we all are her children. And also it showed me that if you are meant to do a mistake, you can read this ticket 10 times. You are going to read the wrong time. If you're ready for a drama, if Mahamaya plays on you, because Sri Pranti Rupena is one of her names. So she makes you do this mistake for a nice game that she plays. And at the end, you will find out you're much better off. But yeah, that's...
It's complete faith in her, complete surrender. It's
yes.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful lifelong time. I'm sure it will be in memory with you and with all of us. All Shri Mataji's stories, you know, it's so stunning. Every time you hear her say about her children, you know,
yes,
this dawns on you because you're part and parcel of the whole. You know, you also feel the same joy that you would feel for our mother. You know?
Yes.
As you speak, we can feel that emotion in you. We also feel the same emotion for our Holy Mother. Don't know how to thank her, but we have to thank our Mother Kundalini for guiding us and giving us this self-realization in this birth. Hopefully all of us can ascend together.
Yes.
Any other stories you would like to share, brother, before we wrap up?
Well, yeah.
I think you're also with the schools, right?
Yes.
schools.
Yes, there was a lot things happening with the schools, but I think there was a story which impressed me very much. It was a Navaratri puja in Capella, and usually the weather is not so bad, but on this certain Navaratri puja, it was raining so much. And it was at the beginning of Capella time, so the tent was not where the hunger is placed now, but the tent was somehow quite on a lower place, lower end, in front of a house. There was a blue circus tent where all the yogis used to be. And after the puja, the children and the mothers, they slept there. And I felt still very uneasy. So the rain was so much. And I went up to Shri Mataji's castle. And I just tried that maybe there's a chance to still get a darshan. So, then when I walked up to the castle, the whole of Capella was flooded already. I mean, it was up to the knees, the water. I never experienced something before or after. It was amazing. Yeah, so I went up to the castle and I arrived there, and I was peeping through the door, just trying to get a chance maybe. And then as if Shri Mataji was already waiting for me, she just, as soon as I beeped inside the door, she said, "Come here." And she sat there after the puja, after the Sri Navaratri puja, as Shri Durga. And so she told me to massage her feet. And I started massaging her lotus feet. And it was all the nightmares, all the fears of the world, like a film, like a movie in front of my eyes while I massaged her feet. It was like, one after the other, like all fears, whatever scary situation you can imagine, it was all there, just running through my head while I massaged her feet after the Navaratri puja. And it was such an overwhelming experience. And I massaged her feet. It went for a while, and then it became calmer. And at some point she said, "It's good now." So I could go. And my center heart was so cleared out. It was so amazing, you know. I went down the mountain from the castle, and there was a place I had to pass over to this tent, and I knew there is a part of the river which is very deep. It's about 3 or 4 meter deep ditch where another small river goes to the river, and this was all filled with water, so I couldn't see where it was. It was all just a tempest, and the center heart was so cleared out that I just walked into this ditch. It was all this water was just, and I was up to the water here in the night, midnight, thunderbolts, everything, and I just was not scared at all. It was not existing. There was nothing like fear existing anymore after this. And then somehow I came out of this on the other side, and I walked to the tent, which was lower. Even cars were swept away in the drain, even cars, and they were much higher up. And then there was this tent. And then I thought, I hope that the children and the mothers are all right. And when I went into the tent, which was lower than the rest, but you know, the water was just there at the entrance, little bit, and everything else was dry. Everybody was sleeping peacefully. And then we just slept till the morning. And in the morning, we saw that it was all, Capella was devastated. It was just swept away by the water. But this tent, which was actually lower than the rest, nothing happened. It was all dry inside. It was all dry inside.
That's the compassion Shri Mataji has, the Sandra Karuna.
Sandra Karuna and Shri Durga with all her powers. If she cleanses our center heart, our life is different. It's so amazing just to feel what it means that there is no fear at all. It's just to have these moments. It's amazing. So it's still a way to go for all of us.
Yes,
for me,
it's absolutely perfect sharing. because we all have some miracles in our lives,
Yes.
like what you mentioned about massaging the lotus feet and all that. It's actually cleansing us, right?
Yes, that is true. No, of course, yeah. She allows us to
Yes,
get her vibrations, and then she works on us when we do that. She definitely, yes. That's what it is. It's not that we do something.
But correct, we do nothing. Yeah, even I had that experience in Pakistan in '99. So it's beautiful. There's many occasions that we have traveled together, brother. So also we had one session, maybe another session we can share more, because it's already running late now. So we can talk more, share more with all our brothers and sisters.
What's the time now?
It's 10. It's 10:30 in Malaysia.
Oh my gosh! So you're almost to go to sleep.
Yeah,
yes.
Some countries it's already past 11, 12.
But you've done your meditation already. See, that's good.
Yes. Yeah. So it's good for those people. Some of them, they watch the recording in the mornings.
Yeah.
So they can improve their faith, whatever. There are some newcomers. Maybe it will inspire them with all your stories. Definitely, it's inspired all of us. And I'm sure that we are sure that everyone else will get inspired with your beautiful stories. Thank you so much for your time, brother, despite your busy schedule. We were trying to get you for months together, but because of your projects and your duty in the World Foundation and all that, we are not able to. But Shri Mataji arranged it so beautifully today on the occasion of Sahasrara Puja, and for you to share this beautiful altar with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much, brother. And thank you, Brother Bhaskar, for the IT support. Jai Shri Mataji, everyone. See you all next week, same time, Tuesday. Jai Shri Mataji. Send our love to all our brothers and sisters in Capella and Austria.
I will. Jai Shri Mataji. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.